Hi YouTube, so you'll remember my TMC 600. You've probably seen my last few updates. I know it was a while, but let me get into why I haven't been filming any YouTube videos for you guys. So guys, I've been working on a man cave, a fish cave. So basically, I tore down the TMC and I put all of my stock in my 5-foot frag tank, which you see there on the left. So the last few months has just been weighing out money after money. I insulated this room, I've fitted dehumidifier fans, lights, electrics, had electrics done, specifically geared up for having a fish room. Now, what you're looking at now is my new tank, which I had made by ND Aquatics. It's a 6-foot by 2-foot by 2-foot tank. This is going to be my main display tank. Now, I've got all of these tanks running on one system, so that is the 6x2x2, this 5-foot by 1-foot by 1.5 foot frag tank, and that will lead down to my 4-foot sump, which I made myself. It was just a standard 4-foot tank, and I put all the sump divides in myself. And to be honest, the reason for going so mad with the fish room and the tanks is, I mean, you guys, if you've been following me, you remember the old 300, the Aqua One 300, and I downsized to pretty much to be in keeping with decorating in the house. And let's be honest, the wife, she's a big influence on why I downsized, but I never really wanted to downsize. I always wanted bigger. You always want bigger. So I converted, I put a divide up in my garage, and I made the decision I can't have the big tank in the house. My house is not big enough for this size aquarium, so I thought I need a fish room. It's the only way I can kill the bug for what I need. So this is the road I've gone up. And if you're wondering where the fish are, well, let's take a look. So I've still got the TMC, and it is currently running as a quarantine tank. So I am running this tank like a fish only aquarium. I'm trying to keep nitrates and phosphates in check, and I'm still using all the same equipment. So I've got the Radion XR15W lights, I'm still using the Bubble Mega skimmer, my bioreactor. I've got my refugium in there. I'm using Marine Pure block for all the nitrogen cycle. I'm just using some filter floss to catch any of the crud that comes down, and then return pump back in. So the fish should be able to live in this tank quite comfortably, which I plan to do so for about 3 to 4 months, because I am currently fallowing the big system. But as you know, just for a temporary measure, a few months, fish all seem quite happy. There's places for them to hide. They're all eating. They're all happy. I'm happy with how they're looking. But also the main purpose for the quarantine is I can treat copper. So obviously I am fallowing the tank for a reason. I had a little outbreak of ick, and this is the first chance I've ever had with this problem that I can get the fish separate and treat them with the appropriate means. So they've just finished a 12-day course of copper. I will start diluting the water back now. It was, of course, the Regal tang. It got the white spot, which spread to the fox face, and so I hooked them out, moved them over, and I kid you not, within a day of treating copper, the white spots disappeared, and now look at them, fat and healthy. So you're probably wondering as well what this other tank is under here, and if you see my last video, it was of my 3,000 gallon koi pond, and this is just a little quarantine tank for a few tosai meaning a 1-year-old. Just a couple of fish that I'm feeding up through the winter, so come next month I'll move them over to the pond. And to be honest, I had a lot of love from the pond video, so keep yourself updated with that, because I'm going to start a new playlist on the pond for you guys that are interested. I know this is Brad's Reef, but I'm going to do a little Brad's Pond playlist for you guys that are interested, and you know, me moving these Tosai over will be part of that video. So yeah, check that out, man. That's up and coming as well. But back on topic, so there is another problem I'm having at the moment. Now, for you that don't know what this isn't hair algae. This is called Bryopsis. Now, if you think ick is hard to get rid of, geez, this stuff is relentless. I've just ordered some Kent Marine Magnesium Tech M. I've had to order it from the US, so it's not going to be here till about, it's estimated delivery the 18th of April. For some reason, I just can't seem to get it here. But I'm having trouble. I can't seem to find any type of animal or invert that will get rid of this problem for me. While I'm fallowing the tank, this is going to be my opportunity to raise the magnesium. I'm going to try 1600, 1700. I'll do as high as I can before, you know, as long as the corals don't suffer. But I really can't see any way out. This is something that I've had in the frag tank now for 5 months. It's the hardest stuff to get rid of. When the fox face was in here, he kept it trim, he kept it down, but you know, he'd eat some, the frag plug would look clean, and before I know it, it's back again. And it comes back with a vengeance. You know, if I'm not in my hands ain't in that tank for more than a week, then it overtakes the coral. You can't see anything. It's just Bryopsis. So I'm going to go up the magnesium route. I've tried raising it with normal magnesium, the Red Sea magnesium, but no joy. So all I can do is try this Tech M. And fingers crossed I can get rid of it, but I do not want to start moving any corals over into the 6x2x2. I know it's one system, and you know, Bryopsis could make its way over there. I'm not sure quite how it spreads. I'm not sure if it's spores or where I'm tearing bits off and you know they settle. I'm not quite sure, but I don't want to physically put any into the 6x2x2. I haven't got any lights for that tank yet anyway, so I can't move corals over for that reason. But when I do, which I should have shortly, I don't want to bring Bryopsis over there. So I need to eradicate Bryopsis. I don't need it trimmed, I need it dead. And you know, Tech M seems to be the way to go, so that's what I'm going to go for. Anyway, so moving on, that's the trials and tribulations. You've seen my problems. I've got some Bryopsis problems, I've had some ick problems, so I'm following the tank for ick. Fingers crossed. Well, I'm going to go for around 16 weeks. So this, I'm not planning to add any fish back into this system till July. I started the fallow on 7th of March, something like that. So yeah, you know, early July is when I'm going to start planning to move the fish on. Now, just a little run through on the filtration. RO reservoir, yeah, it's nowhere near big enough for this. I'm filling that up every 2 days, so I'll have to figure something out for that. Anyway, I've got my 2 returns that come down into some filter floss. That chamber then moves on into the reactor chamber. Now in there I've got a little pump that feeds a dual reactor. Now I will have this fed off my main pump at some point when I've got the plumbing done, but got a bit of rower phos in there and some carbon. Doing a great job. Yeah, it's similar to the BRS dual pumps, but just an eBay version. Then I've got the Bubble Magus media reactor. I've got some biopearls in there next to my new skimmer. My new skimmer is the Skims Monster SM163. It's the DC. It's rated for 250 gallons. You just dial it in. It's got a little gate at the bottom, easy dialing, and this pump is silent. It's the quietest skimmer I've ever heard. So well pleased with that. This is what has been pulling out with no fish in the tank. I haven't had any fish in there for nearly a month and it's still pulling that much crap out. It's an amazing skimmer. So pleased with that. Then I've just got a little bubble trap. Comes over into a Marine Pure block for beneficial bacteria. This area here is going to be a refugium. I've got a teeny little bit of chater in there already. I haven't received my lamp yet. I've got my bulb, so I've got a it's a pink Spectrum. It's got like 65 LEDs in it. I'm just waiting for the clip-on lamp to come so I can plug that in and start growing the chaeto. Then I've just got a little manifold up the top with all the controllers. So I've got a heat controller for a 600 watt heater, a DC pump, skims, and a couple of the J-Bow power heads for the frag tank. And there is my doser, dosing the standard Red Sea, magnesium, calcium. So yes, that is pretty much it for the filtration, and it seems to be working. I'm growing SPS fine. I'm not getting any algae problems, minus the bryopsis. I think you could have the cleanest water in the world and still have problems with bryopsis. The stuff is absolutely relentless. So yeah, filtration wise it's working. I've got electrics ready for lights. I'm going to go for some kind of retrofit T5 LED hybrid. I'll probably be building them myself in a canopy. This tank I'm running a couple of MP40s, which seem to be doing the trick, but until I get some corals in there and I can see some proper movement, I won't really know if that's enough. I may need to add another. If I do, it'll be a J-Bow. I don't think I'm going to go to the expense of another MP40, but this is the scape I've got at the moment. It's a minimalistic scape. I want to get some nice colourful stags, so I've kept the scape fairly low on the hope that I'm going to grow some nice tall stags. To be honest guys, I've been banging on for quite a while. This is one of my longer videos, so I'm going to save some stuff for some future updates. So thanks for watching. I'm sorry I haven't brought more videos out, but now you know why. So I'll catch you guys on the next update. Cheers guys.